Hi everyone, back with another video here. This time what we're going to do is we're going to look at a basic 3D CAD exam style question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to break down the question. I'm going to show you how to answer it and the kind of terms and stuff that you need to use, okay? So this one is going to involve the extrude command. Now the only two real commands that you can really be asked to use for National 5 is extrude or revolve, okay? If it's a square shape like the one we've got here, it's always going to be an extrude. If it's circular, then I would say try and revolve it, but there are some that you can do with an extrude there as well. So we're going to focus today on this being an extrude, okay? So when we look at it, it's a basic shape, it's a square, it's 100 by 100. It's got another square cut out in the middle here, which goes down 20 millimeters, and then it's got this 5mm chamfer at the top, okay, if you can see it round there, okay? So what I've done is, I'll go to the next page in a wee second. What I'll try and do is I'll jump between each of the things that we have. So your first mark is for saying about creating the original profile. So you can see there, if I flick back, this is 100 by 100. And if you look at what I've said sketch profile 100 by 100. That would get you 1 mark. Okay. If you just said sketch profile and then didn't show this, then you wouldn't get any marks. If you had said sketch a profile and then just described 100 by 100 square, you would still get the marks. But we always try and encourage people to use sketches where possible, because it's a lot easier for us to see and notice how it works. Okay. So the next step for that then is obviously to make this a 3D shape. And if we have a look at the elevation down here, you can see that the shape itself is 30mm thick. So our next step is to then say extrude the profile by 30mm. Again, if you just say 30, you don't put the millimeters in there, you'll still get the mark, but obviously it's just for good practice to put your millimeters in there. So for saying sketch a profile and showing the profile and then extrude the profile by 30, that gets you 2 marks. So the next step from that, is to then cut this other square out here. So you can see here that it's 10 in from the bottom, which means it's 10 in from here, 10 in from here, and 10 in from here. Because it's 10 from here and 10 from here, it means that this square here is 80 by 80. So you can have a look there, and I've said on the top of the shape, sketch a new profile, and I've shown here that it's 80 by 80. That would get you 1 mark. And then if you go back and have a look at the elevation again, you can see that this goes down by 20. Now, when you do this, you must say extrude subtract. If you say extrude, if you say cut, if you say take away, you will not get the mark. You must use this word subtract. That's why I've put it out in bold in here, okay? So extrude subtract this profile by 20mm, and that will give us that result there. And then finally, all we need to do is add our chamfer. Some people get confused by trying to understand what size a chamfer is. A chamfer is always 45 degrees. Okay, that's one of the kind of main features of a chamfer. The size is not always given by something that's here that shows you it's shown by this distance here, this 5mm. So if I go back to my model answer, I said add a 5mm chamfer to all the top edges, because if you just say add a chamfer, then you wouldn't get it. You have to say the 5mm in there. Okay, so that is basic question there. You would get 1 mark for these two, 1 mark each for each of the points that are here. So that's a total of 5 marks that you would get there. I'll do another video demonstrating the same thing with a revolve. What I'll also do with that is I'll show how you can do it as an extrude and a revolve. But for now, this is how you should lay your answer. You always start off by sketching a profile and show sketches to show these profiles where possible. Okay. Any comments, anything that's a bit unclear, get back to me. I'll answer it and try and change anything that we need. Thank you.